welcome to another episode of the Fashion Grunge podcast. I am your host, Lauren.
And I'm Jai. Hi.
What's up? We're talking hackers today. I'm really excited. It's super early, so apologies if I sound like I'm asleep, but I'm not asleep. I'm drinking coffee right now.
This
It's
is
not,
like the earliest we've done the podcast,
is
right?
it?
I think
Cool.
so. Yeah.
We've done really late at night, which I think you said that thought you sounded like you were falling asleep.
Yeah,
But I
which is
don't
weird, but
I
I
think it
think I
was
was
when
just
we did the one
tired.
on Seven. But that was a dark film, so it's not like you're gonna be like running around happy. So, so yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a good judge, but yeah, I think yeah, it's cool. This isn't too early. I mean, we're not. It's not like 4 in the morning or anything.
No, exactly. Yeah,
The
it's
sun is
cool.
out. The sun is out. We were just talking about stuff that we were looking forward to and watching, and I think we probably talked about the fact that we're still watching The Vow because it's been on for like 2 months at least now, and more things are coming out. But yeah, so we got what there's another one coming out. Like they're just releasing tons of stuff now. I guess because we're kind of going to be on lockdown again, probably.
Are we?
I mean, it's gonna be winter, so we're gonna be like voluntarily locked down because it's gonna be cold.
Hmm.
And so, I mean,
Well,
they're probably
yeah.
gonna release tons of TV shows and movies and lots of things, I'm
But
sure.
I can't imagine them like having another shutdown, to be honest.
Oh no, not like an actual lockdown. I mean, like a metaphorical because it's gonna be winter. People
Okay,
are
yeah.
locked down anyway, but
I
it's gonna
know.
be a lockdown probably.
Yeah, people are like obviously going out to restaurants now, but in winter you can't really. Well, I mean
Yeah,
you can, and a lot of places are open, like inside. You know, you can see
that's
inside
true.
now,
Yeah,
but
like less seating, I guess. If less
but
people.
I personally don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really ready to do that yet. So I guess, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. There's so many things happening. This is a crazy time. Oh, I want to add an addendum because I guess you'll probably be hearing this next Sunday in like like a few days or whatever. But if you haven't watched Jack White on SNL from last week, one of my friends yesterday, I was talking to him and I was like, "Oh my God, did you watch Jack White?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "What? What is that?" And he's like, "It was okay. I thought I remembered him being a lot better." I was like, "Boop." I like
Oh
hung,
no, he
like
was
hung up. I was
great.
like, "We're not friends." I could not. I was like, "You can't even say anything to me." I was like, "What instruments do you play? What fucking
Mhm.
songs have you written? Like, sit down." I was like, no. I was like, I watched it like 30 times. I am completely reborn. I love Jack White. So yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
it was really cool, and also the fact that we haven't really seen any live performances. You know, like
Oh,
it hasn't been any.
no, not like that.
Like
Definitely.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That made me really excited for live music to come back. I was like, I want to go see Jack White again. I was like,
Yeah, I'll come with you.
yeah, I think um so I forgot. I'm pretty sure he is coming. He came to the Anthem in DC like 2 years ago.
Oh,
For like
wow.
and it was like immediately sold out and they recorded it and stuff for like a concert. I think they have some clips on YouTube, but I think it's like you can buy the whole concert or something. But yeah, I mean he's always so awesome. So yeah.
Well, I feel like it's very likely that the first show that we'll go to will be Smashing Pumpkins and Guns N' Roses, right?
Are
They were meant
they
because
did they
they
like
were meant to play this summer, remember?
yeah, no, I know.
And
I
so,
did they reschedule?
well, no, but I hope that they move it to like next year, like early next. Well, not early, but you know when you feel
Yeah,
safer,
when
like
they can,
maybe
yeah.
like June next year, like 2021.
Yeah, I mean, God, let's hope.
That would be really cool if
It
that
would it'd
was
be good
like
if it was
our first.
warm.
Pardon?
It'd be good if it was warm, like when they play, like not like inside in the cold. Like it'd be good if it
Well,
was warm.
it was like in a massive venue in Baltimore, right? Or did I imagine that? It was somewhere
I don't
far.
know. Where was it supposed to be?
I'm pretty sure it was outside. Maybe not Baltimore, but somewhere like far. Like,
Oh, okay.
but it was like a big stadium or something like that.
You've
So
seen Guns N' Roses, like during the
yeah,
heyday, right? Yeah,
I
so I've
was
never
11.
so cool.
I was 11 or 10. I don't know. I had to check. It's like when, yeah, so cool. That was like my first.
Yeah,
That was
that's
my
fucking
first
awesome.
show. Yeah. Also, it's really funny actually because I went to that, obviously, to the amazing show with my dad, and like a week later, my mom took me to see Gloria Stefan. I was
Oh
just
my
like,
god,
I was just like,
that's
why am I
lame.
here? This is so like, what? My mom was so excited. I was like, no, like, I'm sorry. I just watched Axl Rose and I had to watch Gloria Stefan. Like, that's just silly.
Yeah, oh my god, that's so crazy. Have you seen the Pumpkins?
Never. No.
Oh, wow.
Mm-mm.
I have high expectations for the Pumpkins, but not as much. I have seen them in their more golden era, I guess you could say. When's the last time I saw them? Maybe like 2000, oh God, 4,
Okay,
3?
that's
And that
cool.
was considered like golden era because
Yeah.
it was not golden era, like past the big era, like past the major Pumpkins era. And they were okay. Like they were okay, but like I went to the Melancholy show and they
Oh, oh
were like
wow.
I know I'm not gonna see that.
Oh,
Like,
that's right, because you got that
yeah.
T-shirt.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
But,
remember.
like yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see them, but in some ways, I like the ideas when bands come like, reform or whatever and, like, come back together. Darcy's not in it, which kinda sucks.
Hmm.
But I also have to go in, like, not expecting and, like, being realistic because like, it's 25 years, they're not gonna be like they were when they were
Yeah,
25,
I definitely
you
don't
know?
have high
Stamina,
expectations. I don't have
which is
high
great.
expectations at all, but I'll just be happy to listen to the songs that I love, you
Yeah, they're
know.
great musicians, like, both
Yeah,
sound great,
I mean, the thing is, I've heard really bad like reviews on like the sort of like last shows. That they're like not great, you know. But I
Maybe
mean,
everyone's got time now. Maybe this has like made people like, so now some bands and stuff that are like, oh shit, we can spend more time practicing,
yeah,
really
and
rehearsing,
also
getting our shit together.
how amazing Guns N' Roses and Smashing Pumpkins. I mean,
That's a weird combo.
it
I
is a weird. I know, totally
can't
weird.
imagine the egos that exist within both
I
Cohen
know.
and Axl
I
Rose.
can't imagine Axel being like, "Yeah, let's just get that guy Billy to play." You know, like,
I think it's a money grab at this age. I think
yeah,
it's more of a
to-
money grab because if there was something crazy and super true why Slash and Axel would never talk again, then like they
mm,
wouldn't talk again. You know what I mean? Like I think if they didn't have to, then I don't know if
mhm.
they would. But either it wasn't that serious or they like, time healed it and they got over it, or it's like a money thing that they were like,
Yeah,
fuck, get this money. Like, why
mhm.
are we gonna be stupid? I still really want them to do a Guns N' Roses biopic.
I
Like
know.
it's a Motley Crue one, and I'm like, everyone's still alive in Guns N' Roses. Like, why don't you get them? Why don't they
Maybe
do
Axel doesn't want to.
yeah, maybe. Maybe they don't want their names being used and like
But
they're
it would be so cool if they did that.
so cool. But yeah, let's get into Hackers from
Cool.
1995, directed by Ian Softly, which is
Yeah.
really crazy cool. What is your first thoughts and memories on this film?
I
When did
can't really
you see it?
remember when I first watched it, but I just know that I was really young. So like must have been like 96 or 97.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I love that movie when I first watched it, and I've seen it like so many times, like maybe like 7 times over the years. I Yeah, I mean, it doesn't like I watched it last night. It was the last night? Was it? I can't remember. Two
I
nights
watched
ago,
it like a few days ago.
a
Yeah.
few days ago, yeah. And I was like, it doesn't. It doesn't feel like old. It's weird. I mean, it does, but it's not like I'm not disappointed. You know what I mean? It's like one of those films that like it still feels very like I don't know. I just really like it. I love so many aspects of it, like rollerblading and
Oh
like
my
New
god.
York and trance music and like yeah, all the things I can relate to. You know, because I literally will go anywhere on my rollerblades. Like my mom will ask me to go to the shop to get milk, and I'll get my rollerblades on and I'll skate. You know,
How
just to go to the
cool.
shop. Yeah, it was like a really huge part of my life. and I used to roller skate with boys, and I was the only girl. And I love trance music. That's literally like all I listen to, like 96, 97, 98,
Oh,
2000.
cool.
Yeah, I was really into that whole scene. And I the first club that I went to in the UK, where I, like, every weekend it became like a religion almost, used to be called, Coco.
No. What is
Okay.
no?
Coco, okay, it's this club in Camden that used to be Camden Palace. It's really
Okay.
famous, really big. It's like an old theater. That, when it was Camden Palace, it used to be just trance
Oh
music.
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and so, like, it would be like, the scene of, like, the club scene in the film.
Hmm.
It would be like that. Lots of
Oh,
crazy
cool.
characters. You'll be wearing like fur. Do you remember that? Like in 99, like
Yeah,
2000, we
yeah,
used to wear like
yeah.
fur boots,
Mhm. Yeah,
really chunky fur boots with tiny skirts, and like have like funny, I don't know, hairstyles with like glow sticks, and
yeah.
they will have these sort of cages in, and there will like always people dancing in them, and like just really intense. Like, I mean, people were just like dancing all night,
People
basically.
are on like tons of, and now you call it Molly, but it used to be ecstasy.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I love it. I love that. I love thinking of those days, and it's got Angelina Jolie, and obviously she's fucking amazing.
Oh, Pitter Patter. I love her.
She's like,
It's her first feature, people. This is her first. She'd been in some TV things before this, but this was like literally the introduction of Angelina.
yeah. I mean, she's so beautiful, like kind of mesmerizing, really. Like when you see her, you
Oh,
kind of just like totally, I don't know, like, oh, yeah, totally in love with her. She's
she's
just
just
like,
so cool.
she's cool. She has like so much attitude, and she's beautiful, and she's just like everything, basically. Yeah, she's
Amazing
awesome.
short hair.
Yeah, with short hair, she looks great. I
So
mean,
good. Yeah, I was like, God, I'm so jealous.
but yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just love this film, and I could just watch and watch and not get bored of it. And
Cool.
yeah, that's it. What about you?
I think I first saw this movie in high school, and I've probably only seen it like maybe half of it one other time, and then yesterday. Like
Oh
this
wow.
is not like a film that I have a like deep connection to. So
Mm,
like it's just one of those things that I was like, oh yeah, Johnny Lee Miller, Angelina, yeah, yeah, I remember that like computer movie. As far as like this is more computer than like the music. It's
mm.
more like a more cyberpunk, like cyber film or whatever. But then as far as like the music goes, which I really like the music, I used to listen to this music in like 98 to like '01 about. And that movie that I sent you the movie, there's a movie called Groove. Like that is like
Oh yeah.
my shit because that's about a rave, like coming together, like a bootleg rave, which is what I used to go to. So like they're the ones that like they would rig up electricity like illegally, and you'd find a map point and you didn't know where it was because it was secret. Like those are the kind of raves I used to go to because they weren't sanctioned. Like they
Yeah.
just so that movie, if you want a movie that has this kind of music but it's like more about like that total subculture, and like that was really weird too. So that's another one that I really like for the music because it's got real DJs in it and they're like are really there in the film and DJing and stuff like
Yeah, no, you sent it to me. I definitely want to watch. I totally
that. Yeah,
forgot that I had it.
yeah, check it out. It's cool. You might be able to buy it somewhere, but maybe we'll review it if people care about like techno shit. But it's really cool. It's like a really weird kind of movie, but it definitely has the same like vibe, like the same like the clothes and all that kind of stuff. Like it's all super weird, but it's in San Francisco, like that
Oh,
film.
that's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. But yeah, so this is Angie's first movie. I love Angelina Jolie. I didn't realize how much I loved her until we started doing all these films. Like when we did Gia, and I was watching like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We'll do Girl Interrupted, and I was like,
I can't wait to watch. I
I
love
love,
that film.
I love Angelina. I
I
think
know.
she'd be like my top three without even realizing it. I don't think I
Well,
realized how much I
she.
really like
The
her.
thing is that she is a really great actress. She's not just looks or
No, yeah, she's
whatever. She's a really great actress, and I just wish she was on more things like now.
Yeah, she's in what, like Maleficent? Was that the last thing she did?
Yeah, but it's not really my thing.
Yeah,
That.
I saw the first one. It wasn't bad, but I think there's another one, but I didn't see that. But yeah, she's got all this kids, so I think she's probably like doing
Mm,
that. And God, who knows? Now no one's doing anything, right? Like some actors have picked back up, but
yeah,
I think
no.
aren't doing anything. So who knows? I was watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood yesterday, and I was like, Brad Pitt. I was like, I'm still so sad they're not together. I was looking at,
I know. Yeah, it's so. I mean, obviously, not surprised there, but it's so funny how anyone who makes a film with her just and ends up marrying her.
yeah, that's
Because
right.
it's like they just have so. I mean, she's just so sexy, and I guess yeah. I mean, with Johnny Lee Miller, for example, they obviously had a connection, like shooting this film, and then they got married right after. So
Yeah.
same with Brad Pitt. So like,
Was she in a movie with Billy Bob, or did she just marry him?
I actually don't know. I don't know what the story is there.
Also did not dislike them together. I feel like she's just one of those people who could like go out with anyone. Like I was like, yeah, she would probably date him. She'd probably marry him too.
No, I know, but I find him a little gross. I don't know what it is about him.
He's weird. He's a good actor though. He's been in
No,
some
he is, but I don't know. Something like
show.
I guess when I used to see them together, I just got this like vibe that he's just like really filthy and like pervy and like I don't know.
He kind
It,
of had that vibe, like when you would see them out together.
yeah,
Yeah, like their vibe was kind of weird.
like wild. Like they get up to like really wild shit,
I think
basically.
maybe it seems like, I mean, I have no idea, but just from outward appearances, it seems like Johnny Lee Miller was like really, really, he was cool, like somewhat of a bad boy. And then she's like, I need badder. And then
Mm,
she gets like Billy Bob Thornton, who just looks like a biker, like a
yeah,
weird
yeah,
ass biker, like fucking super intense, the blood, the whole nine. Like she was like, I need crazy. I need crazy.
yeah.
That's what it seemed like. And then she was like, okay, now I need stability and hot. And that's Brad Pitt.
I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah,
Like
like
that,
stability
obviously.
and hotness, but not insane, not completely like off the rails, like
Mm,
somewhat normal. And then she gets like literally the best of both worlds.
totally. Yeah, yeah. Johnny Lee Miller is so cute though.
He is
He's
really
so
cute.
cute in this film, and then obviously in Trainspotting as well. But like,
I'm more of a sick boy than this movie.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. I kind of dig this vibe, to be honest. The whole like, I am a nerd. I'm like not nerd, but kind of, because he's like super smart and
definitely am a sick boy. For sure. I definitely don't find him as attractive in this movie.
you
I
don't. Oh, I think he's
know.
super cute.
I definitely like look more at Angelina in this movie than him. I definitely am like, okay, whatever. She's so hot. Like
I know. No,
love
she's
Matthew
really
Lillard. I
cute.
know you hate him, and as I was watching it, I was like, Jai hates Matthew Lillard. I was like, I love that he's the same in like every movie. Like he's always
I
so
you don't understand. Literally, the first thing I thought was like, God, this fucking guy. Like, he
extra.
just acts. He just plays the same character in all his movies.
Fucking love him
He's
so
the
much.
same silly. I mean, I actually the only part when I don't mind him in this film is right at the end when he does that.
Mhm.
Like, but for the most
Like
part, he's just
manifest
like.
out on the TV.
I
Like
mean, he's fine. I mean, yeah, whatever. Yeah, he just gets on my nerves a little bit. He's like, yeah, that's the
he's
best way I can explain it.
He's definitely an acquired taste. I was listening to him on a podcast with Michael Rosenbaum, who was in another good tidbit I meant to send you and Jules this in the group text. But Michael Rosenbaum was in Smallville with Allison Mack, aka from That Girl from the Back.
Oh my god, yeah.
He has a podcast where he like talks to some different actors, like some people he was on the show with, and then just some like random people, like random other celebrities. Well, he has Sarah from The Vow on the last one. So I'm really
Oh,
interested to see because he talked a little bit about Allison. Like he worked with her on the set, but he's like, I did not know her at all. Like we had a very much like a almost like a Dawson's Creek kind of show. Like they had 7 seasons, so it was very much like a job. Like they would show up, do the episodes, and
hmm.
so he's like, we just did scenes together, but I never like hung out with her. Like I didn't know what was going on. So I'm curious to hear what he's gonna say, like, or what that girl Sarah is gonna say to him. Like Sarah was in the cult too. So Um,
Yeah. No,
but yeah,
that.
he was on one of his episodes. Matthew Lillard was on one of Michael Rosenbaum's episodes, and he was talking about like, I mean, I know you like don't, I know you don't like him or anything, but he's talking about growing up, how he had like such a hard time growing up, like socially, and he was like
Mm,
very, very like quiet and like very, and almost like a lot of actors, like when you see them act, they're like super animated, but then in real life, he's super chill. You probably wouldn't even
oh.
recognize him talking because he talks like this,
You
very.
see, I actually thought the opposite. I thought that he's just sort of playing himself, like he's just like a really hyperactive person.
I think he is, but he's not like as I guess obnoxious as his character comes off because he just really loves acting. And I think he
Mm,
was really young and like didn't really know how to process like social anxiety and stuff. So he got into acting, like pretending to be other people. It's like a really good way to like
yeah, like a lot of actors actually done that or do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to hear him like talk about like Scream and like how he was like everyone thought after Scream I was gonna be like doing all this stuff and I was like, where are the offers? Like it's not like that. Like it's cool they talk about the industry, like how it is like getting a show and what people think and how it is working on a show when you it's really successful and it's not like what you think it is, you know. It's
Mm,
like a job. It's like a 9 to 5 job, you know. So
yeah.
yeah, it's cool. Yeah, but he's on one of those episodes. It's
I mean, I have to say, in this movie, he's like not as annoying as he is in other films. I think.
yeah, I
Like, I
guess.
think he's a little cooler here, and also he wears that fucking amazing sweater with Lou Reed's face on it that I love.
He
Like,
wears
I want that sweater. Can anyone out there make it? Because I feel like this is something that Christopher Kane would do,
oh yeah, you're right. Has anyone
right?
done like a fashion collection that's been like kind of like this genre, like this like cyberpunk 90s?
Yeah, he's done that. He's done that.
Oh
Christopher Kane
yeah,
is.
that was
He's
so
pretty much inspired by that. Like that's what we were just talking about before we started the podcast. Like how it's definitely like there's a huge subculture in the UK of like
now,
cyberpunk. Pardon?
even now, like it didn't go away. The cyberpunk thing.
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell because I've been here for 3 years, right? But before I moved, when you got to Camden, this is the area where like you have all these shops and like where they all kind of hang out. There are a lot of like music venues that play that kind of music and stuff. So I don't know. I feel like it's hard for me to say whether it's still around, but like I, because you see people like still dressed that way in the UK, in London. I'm not saying the rest of the UK. I'm just speaking for like London, basically. So I don't know. I feel like still it's still around, but it might not be as big as it was. Like when I was younger, I guess.
Yeah,
Don't know.
I'm looking through the cyberpunk hashtag on Instagram, and it's very much like a mix of animation, like some type of some like anime, some just like general animation, like steampunk, very much Blade Runner vibes, like nighttime Tokyo photos.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's what the vibe is now. I don't see some Grimes photos here.
Oh
She
yeah, Grimes. Jesus,
kind
yeah,
of
she was.
has a punk vibe, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. She's very, very like weird and like But I mean, I don't know. I feel like you probably do. If I feel like in main cities you do have that still. It's not gonna go away, because places like London and New York they celebrate like I don't know, like uniqueness, I guess, and just being like different. So I feel like for sure, you might not have this in other parts of England, like little towns or villages. But yeah, I mean, there is a place for everyone in London, like
That's cool.
literally, like yeah. So I don't know why we ended up talking about that, but yeah, I think that's it's
I was
definitely a subculture.
cool. I was gonna ask you, I asked you earlier, but what was your first memory of like having a computer and like going on the internet and like doing all that kind of shit? It's probably a little bit later than mine.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember. I remember having a computer for we had one at home. My mom used it. I don't really know what she did on it, to be honest. And we had them in school. We did them we used them for projects and stuff. But I don't really remember using the computer as much until like 99 when I was just like emailing everyone. I used to
Mhm.
like email all my friends, and I used to do something else in it, but I can't really remember. Maybe it was like some kind of chat, but
I think it was AIM. Didn't you have AIM?
yeah, I did. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
You have like instant messages, away
That's
messages.
right. Yeah, yeah. And I used to just chat to like friends and like family, but that's it really. I don't. Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
really.
I was so weird. I was telling you earlier, I went into like chat rooms about music and movies and shit, like, because that's the only time you could meet anyone. Like, this is pre-Facebook, people,
Oh yeah.
pre anything, meeting a stranger. Like, you'd only talk to them like in the chat room. But when I would talk in chat rooms, I would talk in like the general room. I was never someone who like like I think we were always taught like if you're talking in a chat room and then someone's like, hey, let's start our own room, like because we were like our I was like 13, 14, like they kind of were like, no, you know what I mean, because you don't know who it is and you don't want to give them any information like where you live or anything like that. So I never did those, like if someone would ask like, hey, like people would be like, hey, let's meet, let's like go talk in another room, and I'd be like, no. I'm like, we can talk in here. We're talking about music, like
Mm.
why do you need to go to another room? So, I mean, who knows if you're like in your 20s, I'm sure like that was kind of the new form of classified and like new form of dating going
Yeah.
forward.
No, totally. I feel like
And now it's what everyone does. Now it's the norm.
I know. Yeah, it's really cool to see stuff like that because I feel like, oh my God, it's so ancient, and it's not, but it feels like it was like so long ago. You know.
Yeah, it feels so long ago.
Like it's so hard to remember. My memories with like computers and stuff and like the internet are really just a bit later. Like I think maybe 2003 I was like glued to my laptop because I was on MySpace.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like that was everything. Literally spent so much time on it on MySpace talking to. I had a lot of friends and talking to people about music and stuff,
That's
and
cool.
I actually ended up having a boyfriend that way. Like I met him through MySpace,
Oh really?
and he lived in in another country. Yeah,
No way.
yeah, it's really crazy. This is like what?
Did you ever see him?
Yeah, I mean
Oh, like you
basically.
actually met in real life. You didn't just like talk to him online and then
No, no, no. So we got talking on MySpace, and I was like, you remember you used to have all these pictures of yourself, right, on it, kind of
yeah.
like Facebook. And I was like, oh my God, he's so hot. And we basically just got talking, and then next thing we know, we were talking every single morning and every night. And then he used to call my house, like we used to speak on the phone,
Oh my
and then
god.
we both bought webcams, and we used to like see each other on video and
Where
stuff.
did he
And
live? What country did he live in?
Portugal.
Oh, okay.
But
So did you go there or did he come to England?
so he lived in Portugal, but he's Brazilian, and
Oh.
we we basically were talk honestly not even that long. I think we must have talked for like 4 months, and then my birthday was coming up, and I said, "Oh, you should come to visit. My birthday is soon. That would be like a really cool gift if you could come
Yeah.
and just hang out." And he was like, "Okay." I was like, "Really?" So he came,
Oh
and
my
I remember being like, I lived with two music producers and my best friend Jacqueline, who's an art director. And it was the four of us in this really big house in Hackney. And basically, they all were like, "Don't worry, we'll protect you. If he turns out to be like a crazy person or like a serial killer, we'll be able to tell. And we'll all be here to protect you. Just like text us or whatever." And so I went to pick him up at the airport. And then we got home. And then everything was great. And he
oh,
stayed
I
for
was
a whole week.
gonna say, weird. Were you
No,
like,
he was so nice. He was just like such an amazing person, and like he got on with all my flatmates, and like he was playing football with my flatmates in the morning in the garden, and we cook, and we just had like such a cool vibe at home anyway. But he just fits it in so well, and they love him, and like we spent a whole week together, and then from there we just did long distance. I used to go to Lisbon, and he used to come to visit, and we did that for 2 years.
oh my gosh,
And
wow.
that's like a MySpace like love story.
Oh, no way. I never. knew any. I mean, I think everyone on MySpace I knew in real life. I don't think I ever like added anyone I didn't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't plan it, and I definitely wasn't even. I was very like selective in like who I spoke to because I thought there would be a lot of weirdos there, that went in just to meet girls. But
Oh
I just got
yeah,
a good vibe from this guy, and like it's super cool. He's the guy that I've told you about before. Who
base
does,
jumper.
yeah, base jump.
Oh no way! Oh my
Like he
god,
does like BMX, surfing. Like he's an adrenaline junkie basically, and he does that. Like he's sponsored by Red Bull.
that's so insane. Base jumping is crazy.
Yeah, it's
Like,
well,
I want to jump out of a plane, but I definitely don't think I could base jump.
the thing is, like, he doesn't just do base jumping. He does like the like flying. That
Yeah, with
suit.
the suit. Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
that's base jumping, isn't it? Don't they all have the suit on when they
yeah,
base?
but I don't think it's called base
Oh,
jumping. I
is it
think
called
base
oh,
jumping is
maybe?
just from buildings. Yeah, he does that too. He goes to like all these crazy places, like Dubai and like all these other countries, and they just jump illegally from a building.
Oh, he's one of those. Do they like
Yeah,
film it?
yeah,
Does he have like a YouTube channel?
probably, but I
Oh,
don't. I kind of
cool.
don't know because I don't really look at what he's doing anymore.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's so crazy. Oh, I know that I only have one friend who's like he's a sky surfer.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
he does
cool.
that, which is pretty cool, but that's the only friend that I have who does anything extreme. Yeah, my MySpace experience was definitely a lot more boring. I had Friendster before that, and then I had one of the first like not that this is in any way a brag, it's fucking lame, but I was like one of the first like one in the first adoption of like Facebook when Facebook was nothing. Like it was literally just a fucking profile. But my college roommate was like, "You got to get Facebook. Everyone's on Facebook, Facebook, Facebook." And it was like you had to have this like edu address. So like it was only available for people in the
Oh,
college network. So that was the thing was that it wasn't open to the public, and it was like really fucking cool when it was like oh, this is exactly what happened with the iPod. Like when the iPod was only for Apples, I
oh
felt
my
so fucking
god.
cool. I was like, yeah, I
Me too.
have a fucking iPod. Sit the fuck down. I don't have a Windows. And then when they opened it up, and it was like everyone can get an iPod now. If you have Windows, and I was like, fuck this. This is so lame. I was so cool because I had an Apple and no one had an Apple because Apple
No,
wasn't like what it is now. It was like lame. It was like
yeah.
the weirdo computer. And
No,
I
I
was
know.
like, and now it's like, you know.
It's crazy. Yeah, I do really remember that like those days so well. It's like Facebook came along, and then
MySpace, Friendster was another one. I
yeah,
met
there were so
people on
many things.
Friendster.
There was another one. I can't remember. There were so many, and I wasn't all of them. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. Do you have any behind the scenes notes?
Yeah, I have a few. Let's see what's the most interesting out of this. Well, it's just funny. Like the cast was given 3 weeks to hang out together, so they like would get to know each other, and they had to learn how to rollerblade properly before filming.
No,
Because
that's cool.
I mean, Angelina looks like she's pretty good at it, and like and Johnny Lee Miller, I think. I don't know. They seem like they've been doing this forever, so
I
it'd
bet
be cool
they
to
probably
know.
did, right? They had a baseline of knowing how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought like they need more than 3 weeks for like people that don't know how to rollerblade. Like it would take more than 3 weeks to really like.
Yeah, like I don't know if I can rollerblade like in like a rink, like in a roller rink, but
Mhm.
I don't and I used to go somewhat on the street, but I don't feel comfortable being on like a paved street because there's different rocks and like I don't think I can move fast enough
Yeah.
to like disrupt that, and I feel like I'd get caught in like a pothole if I was on
Oh,
the
I
street,
see.
and I'd probably fall. So if 3 weeks, I guess, and also now that I'm like old or older, I'm more afraid of falling. Like I'm more afraid of like actually like doing something crazy. So I feel like I wouldn't be as like
I know what you
free
mean.
to like just like fucking go 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 because I'd be afraid if I trip and break my leg like this is not cool. Like I
Yeah.
mean I can't breaking my leg right now at my age and stuff. And
No, I know
yeah, so it
that
kind
is
of
true.
sucks. But then when I see them like in their 20s, like yeah, I'd probably be doing this. I'd be like pushing it. Who cares if I fall? Like I'll be
Yeah.
fine. you know?
Well, that's the advantage of like doing it when you're really young. I learned when I was 5. I got my first
Oh
pair of roller
wow.
skates at 5, and like that's all I did. That was like I would just go out and like just skate. So yeah, I honestly was like a really big part of my life. I remember
So cool.
after school, I would meet my friends to go rollerblading, and then we'd go to someone's house to watch the X Files.
The X-Files. That's so funny.
Anyway, so yeah, so they spent 3 weeks learning how to rollerblade and studying computers and hacking, which is really cool, you
That's
know?
cool. I'd like to do that.
Yeah. Shall we do one on one?
Oh yeah, okay. I have this is kind of a I wrote it in the womp womp section. The budget for this film was $20 million and it only made 7.5 million at the
What?
box office. Yeah.
That's a
So
shocker.
yeah, it was kind of a flop, needless to say. And it had mixed reviews. Like it wasn't like so, super well reviewed. Now I have to say, in this day and age, which is so awesome about where we are now in society and like technology, is everyone that did a review of this film was definitely not the target audience.
Hmm.
So I feel like, of course, they're all going to be like, "This is a dumb teen movie with like
Because they were like
silly
old.
computers." Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you got someone who was 14 or 15 and or who was like in this vibe, they'd be like, "This is awesome. This is totally what the world is like. This is what it's going to be like. People are going to be hacking, and guess what? It totally is." So like
Totally.
that,
Yeah.
I think it would have been probably way better reviewed and way better probably promoted if it was like this day and age and you had kids on YouTube like talking about it and like what's really true and like is that true and can you really do this and like all that kind of stuff.
No, but that's yeah. I mean, fair enough. Like the reviews, I get that. Like it was the wrong people, but I still would have thought people were into this because it was like all of these things were huge in the 90s. So
It
I
was, yeah.
I don't understand why there wasn't that much appeal. You
You
know,
know the
because
actors because they weren't none of them were that known. I think if
I
they
don't.
if they got
Mm,
one person that was more well known, maybe it would have changed it. Because Johnny Lee Miller wasn't that well known.
no, he
He
wasn't.
still isn't.
Well, he was in the UK, but
Oh
not.
yeah, but this was like an American release, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's been in
Yeah.
loads of things from a young age in the UK, but yeah,
Oh,
I guess
okay.
in America he wasn't.
And with
Um,
Angelina either. She wasn't well known. There was no one that was like, "Oh, I don't know, fucking Brad Pitt's in this. I'm gonna go watch it." Like it
I
was,
know, how sad. I think
yeah,
that's crazy. I had actually no idea. I didn't even look into the budget or like box
yeah.
office or
20
anything.
million's a lot, and probably most of it was like animation, like post production stuff. When they're inside the computer and like when they're doing all that shit. Like that probably took.
Yeah. Well, also, like, I wonder if, like one of, I think it's called, what is that? The actual place called Cyber,
Delia.
Cyberia. Yeah. So that's the
Cool.
place where they're all like that really cool hangouts. But actually, no.
Mhm.
I'm I'm actually not sure if it was that place or the club scene, but those were filmed in London
Yeah.
in this really cool building, and like yeah, it's like a historic landmark, and I think now it's just rented for films and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that must have been expensive too because they had to like travel there, fly the whole team, the whole crew,
Mhm.
and they had to like obviously set it all up and build that set.
It's so cool.
So I'm sure that cost a lot of money. It's
Yeah, 20 million for the whole thing. Yeah, I bet a
That's
lot of it
crazy,
was
yeah.
shipped over there. Because then they have to house everybody. They have to, like,
Oh, that as
hotel,
well, yeah.
food, and all
I-
that
I'm I'm
shit.
just really shocked that they had to go all the way to London to do that. But, I mean, it's cool, but
Yeah, that they couldn't find, like, a warehouse in New York
especially in New York
to just, like, build it out in there.
in the 90s, right? I think it's kind of weird
Maybe they
that
got some kinda grant or something. Or not a grant, but maybe, like, England let them film there or something.
I guess I
I don't
don't
know.
know. Well, yeah, that's sad to hear, but I mean, I'm sure like it is a cult classic in a way now, and like
Yeah, totally.
everyone knows, and especially because all those actors are really big now. So, well, not all, but a lot of them are.
A lot of them, yeah. I'm trying to think of like Jesse Bradford. I can't believe that Jesse Bradford is like, I mean, God, I'm gonna actually look and see how old he is in this movie because he looks like a baby.
Yeah, he was 16 when he filmed it, I think.
Well, what a fucking growth spurt when he goes to do Romeo and Juliet the next year. He looks so much older.
Yeah,
Like it's the next year. Like
puberty. puberty.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
like, yeah.
He looks like a little kid, and he's like, that's one of my favorite scenes is him like in NA, like smoking cigarettes and like drinking coffee.
It's like, well, I'm not an addict.
Like this kid, I was like, oh my god.
So funny. Um,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What else?
So I have that Hilary Swank, Heather Graham, Liv Tyler audition for the role of Kate.
Oh no way! Wait,
It's
Heather
kind of
Graham,
crazy.
Heather Graham, Liv Tyler. Who's the
And
other one?
Hilary Swank.
Oh, Hilary Swank.
Yeah, because Hilary Swank had done already like the Karate Kid, right? She was already kind of like, I'm pretty sure she had done that.
I haven't seen the second one. I've just seen the OG.
And also, Edward Norton auditioned for the role of, yeah,
For Johnny Lee Miller.
yep,
Damn, good thing he got Primal Fear and got that Oscar nomination. And that's what he did.
yeah,
So
it's
good
cool.
for him, yeah. Johnny Lee Miller does really fit this type though. I
He
can't see
does, he
Edward
does.
Norton doing any
Me
of this,
neither.
especially rollerblading. I definitely don't see that. And what, Hilary Swank? No. Kate, what's the
No,
other girl? Was it Kate Hudson? Is that what you said?
no,
Oh, Heather Graham.
Liv
Heather
Tyler. I can see Liv Tyler doing this.
Tyler for sure.
Liv Tyler, yeah.
But then she did Empire Records probably that year. She probably
Hmm.
did that instead, which was good move, Liv. One of my favorites. Let's see. Who else is the other one? Heather Graham. What'd she do in 95? She did Boogie Nights in 97, which we have to do Boogie Nights too, because I love Boogie Nights.
Didn't she do the one of the Greg Arrakis films? Well, she wasn't in it. I mean,
She's
she was in it, but she
in,
wasn't.
yeah, that was Nowhere. That was 97.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if she did anything before then. She looks really good now. She's 50. She looks kind of the same.
Oh,
Kind of crazy. Let me look real quick. Let's see what she did instead. She was in not that much. No, nothing that I really know. She's in a lot of things though. She's
oh,
in a
really?
Twin Peaks movie. Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Oh,
Oh,
she's in Twin
yeah.
Peaks. Oh shit, she's in
Oh
Twin
my God, of course. But that's she's in the movie, right?
No, she's in the show. It's a 6 episodes.
No, I've seen that
Season two.
show.
Season
I've seen
two.
it. I've seen them all. I've seen the show. I don't remember hearing it.
I have not seen Twin Peaks. I've started it maybe 7 times.
I
And
fucking
I've
love
never
that
gotten
show.
past the first episode.
It's such a good show. I love it. Love it. I love the films.
Everyone says that. I think David Lynch might be more of those one of those like Wes Anderson people for me. Like someone actually I wrote on Instagram like
No, you can't put him in the same box.
no, not as in they're similar like the way I see them. But I think that David Lynch for me I can actually get into David Lynch. Like I've actually watched David Lynch films and like I've actually tried. Someone actually when I put the comment up this week on Instagram like what movie should we review on the podcast? And I did a poll of like, should we do one movie from 2000 to 2020 now, one a month? And overwhelmingly, 60 some percent of people wanted one movie a month that was more current. So we'll do that,
Oh, wow.
in November.
Cool.
So that's cool. So we'll decide. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna release it on the first. So you're hearing it first here if you're listening and you've got this far. I think what I'm going to do is on the first of every month, I'm going to say what the movie that month is. That's going to be the current one, and then it's going to come out on the second Sunday of the month.
I like that.
So that's
That's
like a
cool.
schedule, so you'll know what it is like for 2 weeks, so you have a chance to watch it or whatever.
Yeah, also people like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like and subscribe. I need to do like a bumper that I can just put in the front. Like I'll just record me saying it and I can just put it in the front and then we'll and then we'll start the show so I don't have to worry about it. And also someone on Instagram DM'd me and said, "Can you make a huge list that we can see?" Because I when people submit stuff and they're like, "Oh, do Buffalo 66?" I'm like, "Yep, it's on the list." And then someone was like, "Hey, can we see the list? Like, what's the big list of stuff you're going to cover? Like,
Oh,
we
that's
see like a
cool.
must have, like must watch list." He's like, "Because I really want to know like all these films that you're going to do, and I want to know things to watch." So I think what I'm going to do, I was trying to figure it out. I think I'm going to make a Google Doc that I can just add to,
Yeah.
and then I'll probably just like strike through the ones that we've done episodes on, which is what I have anyway. And then I'll link it probably on Instagram. I have to make one of those link tree things where you can have like multiple links like through the
Yeah.
bio. And I'll do that so people can actually like keep up and look at it. So
That's cool.
So yeah, so we're gonna do one current, one a month. So that's cool. I'm excited to like figure that out. I feel like I know what the first one should be, but I won't say it yet because I'll have to talk to you about it.
Okay,
But
cool.
yeah, but I think I know what the first one should be, which is really cool. But yeah, yeah, that's all I had to say about that. There's something else I was gonna say, but I forgot now. Yeah,
Do you have any
behind the
notes
scenes.
tonight prepared
Um,
behind the scenes?
let's
Or
see. I have it was written by Raphael Moreau, and it was inspired by obviously the hacker subculture, like cyberculture movement. And he like spent loads of time with hackers. Johnny Lee Miller went to a hacker convention.
I know.
Kind of funny.
How funny.
Um, so it's really weird that they like did all this like crazy research and stuff. But yeah, it's cool. It's super cool. I would love to do like the research part, like go
Yeah,
with hackers and
so
stuff.
interesting. Yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah, okay, so let's get into the story. I love how it opens in Seattle, of course. I was like, wow, they are beating Seattle's fucking dead corpse right here. Gotta use it for anything. So of course it's Seattle 1988, and this kid is on trial for like crashing a network of 1,500 computers, and his fucking family gets fined like 45 grand, and he can't have a computer until he's 18, and I think he's 11. And this, of course, is Dade slash Johnny Lee Miller, Zero
Yeah.
Cool, aka Zero Cool, which is so crazy. I wrote, that's insane. Could you imagine not having a computer until you turned 18?
Well, no, I can't imagine that. And I don't think he
Court
did.
order, too,
Hmm.
which is crazy, which is so nuts. And then of course you see him, and then you see like 7 years later he's 18, he's got this computer, and then I wrote, "Oof, Johnny Lee Miller at the computer with those small glasses that are super cool,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He looks
blonde hair.
so
He looks
cool.
really cool, I have to say. And I love how he's like taking over the TV station to like play what he wants.
I know.
So cool.
It's so cool.
And of course they play like Outer Limits, which is like I remember Outer Limits was on TV at like 11 o'clock at night. It's like a bootleg Twilight Zone, like a 90s
Oh,
Twilight.
yeah.
That
So, so cool.
was a 90s moment that I was like, Outer Limits, of course. Of course it's the Outer Limits, which is like so funny. And I think in my 90s moments list, I literally have just I everything. I just have like literally everything. Like the way that the tapes in the TV station, the way they're like moving
Yeah.
on those like
I
robots.
mean, yeah, everything is just like, yeah, it's so cool. I feel like I have the things that are like really stand out to me is like day drinking Coke even in the morning with breakfast.
Oh
He's like
yeah.
he drinks Coke all the time. It's really funny, but I think a lot of people we've seen a lot of films where they do that, right? Like
Um.
yeah, like remember like what was it? Is it called Little Bites? Reality Bites?
Oh yeah, you're right.
They all like,
Diet
and
Coke.
then in like one of the Greg Araki's films, they like drink Coke all the time, even in the morning, just like a giant Coca
Yeah,
Cola.
big bottles. Yeah,
And Angelina is always exposing her bosom. Like
always.
she's always like, I mean, she has great boobs, so yeah, why not? But she looks great in it. There's a scene where she's like wearing a see-through, like a completely sheer
Oh,
top.
and they're like, yeah, and isn't she doing some like the camera's over her?
Yeah, it's over
Right?
her.
Yeah, because I was like, is that shirt see-through? I was like, wait, maybe it's not, and it's like a illusion. But then I was like,
Mm.
it's Angelina, it probably is. She's
Yeah,
probably
no, she has
like,
no.
just like,
Also, you can kind of see her boobs completely when she's like making out with her boyfriend,
oh yeah, that
and
yeah,
they're all there in her
they're
room, and
all
she
in
just
that
like
room.
opens, unzips her leather jacket, and you
They're all
can
like,
see most of her boobs.
and I'm like, they're right there. Like, they're like four
Yeah,
people, like
so funny.
it's really funny. And then as he's like taking over the TV, this hacker. I love how when hackers would like intercept your computers in the 90s, they would turn your whole computer like one color, and they would have
Oh
like a
yeah,
message on it, and hers is like acid burn, like what are you doing in my space? And like this is my like area, like get the fuck out of here. And he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, who's acid burn? Like who's this? Because everyone had screen names. What was your first screen name?
oh, okay. It was Mad Jai 333.
Oh wow. Mine was Car Chick 547. And it actually wasn't even chick with a K. It was actually car chic, but I said car chick because it was like CHIC. Like there was no K on the end. But I've said it as I used to say it was car chick. Like it was never car chic.
Oh my god,
But I
so
was
funny.
obsessed with cars. Little known fact, like a little bit of a problem, obsessed with cars. I'm not still obsessed, but I do love a car and I do love to drive. Uh,
You do.
I do.
Yeah.
I do love to drive. But yeah, I was gonna ask you. I was like, what was your screen name?
I love that because I can't believe I remember it. But yeah, of course, because that's my name for years. I had that.
I have another one. I had another name for years too. I think maybe after Car Chick. When I got a bit older, it was Caspa 717. But it was like KASPAH, and that was from kids, from Casper and Kids.
Oh, cool.
Because like when I would get really drunk or like really high or whatever, like they say I would sound like Caspa when he was in the tub. And he was like,
Oh,
bitches love me because I'm fucking Casper. Like that's how I used to talk. So they were like, you like Casper from Kids. So then that was my like screen name.
cool name.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Oh yeah, so then now he moves to New York City from is it from Seattle?
Hmm.
Yeah, okay. So it's like he moves to New York City in his senior year, which has to fucking suck. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't even imagine. That's horrible. I think he's like trying to go to MIT or something, right? Like, I think
I
that's what his
don't.
mom was saying. Like, how are you gonna get to MIT? Like, because he's really smart. I guess
Oh yeah.
like that's the college. I guess they're assuming he will go to. And then I wrote his reaction is mine when he first sees Angelina Jolie. It's like the same reaction
Same
I have.
reaction.
He's all like slow mo, like, hey. It's like so funny. Um, and then I said like it's so crazy too how he went into the computer like in computer lab and like changed his class to be in the same class as her.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Cool. I said I said that's so crazy. I wish I could do that. Actually, one of in one of my schools, a guy in my class like changed the grade for me, but he didn't do it on the computer. He changed
Oh,
both of our grades manually in her grade book. Like he stole the
oh,
teacher's grade book and like forged her signature and like changed the grades on her thing. It was really cool. So thanks a
oh.
lot, dude. I won't call your name out, but thanks a lot, dude. I helped that class. And then I wrote like, "Oh my God, Joey from Romeo and Juliet." It's just so weird to see him like just little like tiny kid.
Yeah, you're right. He just looks so young.
So young.
Like,
He looks way
yeah,
younger than 16. That's how old he is.
yeah. He was 16.
That's
He was the only everyone. I think Angelina was 25.
no, she was 20.
No, 20. Sorry,
Yeah.
Angelina was 25 or 23. I can't remember.
How crazy. That's so
Yeah.
nuts. And it's also the 25th anniversary of Hackers too. So
When?
right now it came out in 95.
Oh,
Yeah,
yay!
so, and it came out in
Cool.
September, so it's almost like exactly.
Oh, very
We're
cool.
a month late. And then I wrote, "Oh my gosh, cyber was such a thing. Like just the whole vibe of cyber, like
Totally.
just that whole like crazy colors. I mean, we'll get to the fashion later, but it's a trip. Like it's a real trip. It's a really
Yeah, it was so fun. Just
um yeah, to wear whatever you wanted.
I know, and think of all the like I obviously I've mentioned this before, but I'm a huge fan of like Letfield and like Carl Cox and the Prodigy and all those
Yeah,
bands like Orbital. And I watching the I would do that. I will smoke weed at home at night and then just watch all the videos. There was like
cool.
I think like about 2 a.m. MTV played just like trance and like dance music,
Oh, neat.
and it was so fun. And I used to download sometimes the videos and have them on my laptop, just like playing on
Oh,
repeat.
cool.
So cool.
Cyberdelia, we got that. He gets that cool flyer, like, "Hey, meet us at Cyberdelia." It's this like fucking cool ass place.
So
It is
cool.
the coolest place ever. It's like an indoor obstacle roller course too, because like people were roller skating in there, like rollerblading in there. Then they have computer games. It literally is like the best place ever. Like it's
Yeah.
so 90s.
Such a cool hangout. Totally.
It reminds me also of the club NASA and Kids. You know, the club that like
Oh
Joey goes
yeah.
to. like
Yeah, yeah.
Kelly. It's like that.
It's very
That one
similar.
had like a ramp in it. That one had like a half pipe in it. It's very much like this. It's same year too. So it's like, that whole vibe. It was definitely a thing. I wrote internet cafes and books, like just all these massive books, like another super 90s thing. And then of course they're like telling Joey, like, you've got to do a righteous hack. You can't just do this bullshit hack.
Oh yeah.
Gotta like do like a real thing. And he's like, oh, I don't know. And they're like, yeah, man, you gotta do something like crazy to like prove that you're like a really like true hacker, not just like fucking around and doing bullshit. I do like when Dade like fucks around in the school when Angelina's like, go, yeah, there's a pool on the roof.
Oh yeah.
He goes up there and then all those people are out there and then he ends up getting soaked and comes back and then like does the sprinklers in the school and then like
Yeah, that was
out and she's like, what the fuck? That was one of my favorite scenes. And he has the umbrella.
yeah, that's in my favorite scenes
Yeah.
too. Like I love it. He's just like there with the umbrella. It's so cool.
And then I wrote, oh my gosh, everyone is smoking. And then I wrote, God is a common password. Was God a common password in the 90s?
I guess I did read that those are legit like references, like love,
Crazy.
secret, God, and sex were the most used passwords.
That's
Like
insane.
yeah.
I still can't believe Joey next year was in Romeo and Juliet. I wrote that down again. And I wrote totally a prequel to Mr. Robot. Like totally.
So cool.
Um, Mr. Robot is definitely. I need to finish that season. I haven't watched the last
I
season.
can't believe you haven't finished it.
I
I
haven't.
don't get it. I
I
don't
get kind
understand
of.
it.
I get kind of. I guess fatigue with certain shows. I feel like unless there's like when there's a copious amount of action, I really like it. Like Peaky Blinders, like something like that. When it gets to the only thing about Mr. Robot that I could say that I like about it, I love Rami Malek. Like I really like him.
Yeah, he's
Kind of
great.
the reason why I watch it, and Christian Slater. But the I don't like the girl who plays his sister. I really don't like her, and it's
Oh, really?
worse as the show goes on. I like really
Oh, I really like
her.
her.
I don't like her, and I don't like the girls. I don't like the friend either. I don't like her
Mm.
either, the blonde girl.
Yeah.
So, like, I think if maybe there were different people. Also, it gets a little too in the weeds sometimes when it comes to like computers and hacking. And I sometimes when I'm in the mood to watch something that I don't want to think that hard, I kind of just want to watch it. But when I have to get
Mm.
too like when the story just gets like very complicated and like very much like that's one of those shows too that I really really like. But like once you get off the train, you can't just pick it back up.
Well, that's why I
Like
can't believe
rewatch.
that you waited because it's going to be hard because you kind of had to be watching it. Like
Yeah,
you're going to be like, wait, what? Because there's so much going on
yeah. There's a lot.
that you might forget, like what happened previously, and it's going to be confusing.
I think I watched the first episode of season 4 like 3 times, and then I just never wanted to watch 2. I just
Oh,
it never like made me be like, "Oh shit." Sometimes in the early seasons it was like, "Holy shit." I was like, "Next one, next one, next one," but this one I was like, "Okay." I mean, all right, whatever. Maybe I know it's going to end, so I'm like, "No. I don't want to know how it ends," but I will eventually watch it.
okay.
I wrote so now Jerry is or not Jerry, Joey is like I don't know what he did. He like extracted some weird garbage file which ended up being like it's just like a weird convoluted story. There's this bad guy who ends up like trying to put like a worm that eats all this money, but then he's putting like distraction hacks in and distraction viruses. Well,
Yeah.
Jerry has somehow activated this in his like small hack and now he's like going to be like tracked essentially. And then I wrote, "Oh my god, the dude that serial killer, aka Matthew Lillard, who's in this whole like weird hacking high school group, along with the phone freak guy." I was like, the dude that they go to in that awesome like house that he goes into, where it's the guy from The Crow, the guy that
Oh yeah. That's why I was like,
I forgot what's his character. I don't know his character name. Not T Bird.
what else have I seen him in? I thought I actually saw him in like Home Alone. I thought he was one of the bad guys, but maybe not.
Oh no 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 no! That's Joe Pesci and Chris Elliott, I think.
Oh, okay.
I want to say. No, this is the guy. I'm gonna look up his name. I don't even know his character name, but I loved his fucking apartment. like in that like weird, where was it? It was like a warehouse because they like knocked on
It
the
looked
door and
it
heard
looked
all
like a
the
warehouse. Yeah,
activity.
it's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
was really
Yeah.
fucking cool. I thought that was awesome. And also another weird thing that I forgot about, that Mark Anthony is one of those agents.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that
I
until I watched
know.
it the other night. I was like,
Weird.
he's so young and like skinny and cute.
So young. He looks like a baby. I was like, wait, is that Mark Anthony? I was like, no. And
And
I had
the
to
only
look it
thing
up.
that comes to my mind when I see him is like J-Lo.
Yeah, oh totally. That's
It's
exactly
just
what I thought. I
like,
was like, is that J-Lo's husband? Mark Anthony?
I know.
The guy is named Lord Nikon is the
Oh
guy,
yeah,
and Lawrence Mason is the actor's name. But yeah, he is the one that was in The Crow. He was not Double T. What the fuck's his name in The Crow? Tintin. That's
Tintin. That's
yeah.
right.
I was
Yeah,
like, oh my god, that's so crazy. And his place was so cool. It looked kind of like the inside of the Spice World bus.
yeah.
We should do Spice World just for fun because that movie.
No,
Oh no, okay, Jules will probably do it with me.
she would do it.
Yeah,
I mean, I
it
did
was
like
so
Spice Girls, but I don't think I want.
it was so good. Maybe as a bonus. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do one for fun and never put it up. It's not on brand, but it's definitely super
It's definitely not on brand.
no,
Yeah.
super super cool. I wrote I love how that you see Joey in the shower with like those old school headphones. Like the ones
Oh
that
yeah.
definitely have wires that you shouldn't be in the shower with.
Yeah. Why is he in the shower with
I
them?
don't know. It's so weird. And then I wrote, it's really funny when the FBI like agents read the manifesto in the car where they're like, because they're like investigating this hack and they're like, we're not separated by religious beliefs or skin color or gender. And they're like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, this is totally like what happens on the internet now. Like, it's totally like Reddit and all these other like weird anonymous message boards that are, I'm sure, around. Like, it's like the same thing. Like, you don't know who anyone is. Which
Yeah.
I find really funny. And then I also what I love how virtual reality has not changed. Like
Oh
they walk
yeah.
in on this guy playing like something on virtual reality. I think it's
That's
Plague, right?
exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's exactly the same. Yeah, it's literally exactly the same, which is really cool that we haven't managed to like do anything insane. I'm sure we'll have you seen that Elon Musk is working on like a Neuralink?
I've seen that.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Like,
Like no, not okay. Not
wait,
okay with chips inserted.
who's gonna go for that? I want to know.
Their
Like, it's just
baby, they're gonna test it on their Grimes alien baby.
oh, that is so. They're just too much. Those two are on another level. Like, I used to like Grimes, but
I think
like
it's cool.
since they got together, she's just like very. She just got weirder and weirder, really.
She definitely has her own vibe.
She's always had, yeah,
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 it's all weird. It's all very like Bjork for 3000.
totally,
Very like
yeah.
techy and weird and new age.
Mhm.
And like, I bet people thought what Bjork was doing was weird, and then I bet in like 30 years, people will think what Grimes was doing was really weird, but then it's gonna be like the norm.
Totally,
Like, I feel like they're just like those people that are on a different plane and they just see things that we don't see.
yeah.
And then they go to this like 90s apartment party, which is pretty rad. I think it's not Kate's place. It's someone else's
I
place, right? Or is it Kate?
no, I think it's Kate. Yeah, it's Kate's house. Yeah, because remember, there's a funny line where it's just like they're talking about a party that she's having a party. I think it's Freak that says
Oh yeah, okay.
Kate. Yeah,
Oh, what does he say?
no, it's just something like why do you? Or maybe that's later because he's like, why do you want to like? No, Kate. Is it like sexual purposes or something
Oh,
else? It's like
right, yeah.
there's like a really funny line, but I can't really remember.
And then I think they're like they all kind of agree with him. They're like, yeah, we got it. Like
Yeah. Well, yeah.
like we totally get it. I wrote so I was like, yeah, and that's when you get that awesome scene of like you flash to Joey at NA because he's been caught by the cops. And he's like at NA obviously because he has an addiction. I don't know why he's at NA though, because it's computers, not narcotics. But he's like there talking about like everyone's like, I'm an addict, and he's like, I'm not really an addict. I mean, I'm not on the computer all the time. And then he's like smoking and like, I'm gonna get us some more coffee. And he just like leaves and gets more coffee. I was like, how is this kid smoking cigarettes? Like,
Well,
I know that I mean, everyone smoked as a teenager, but they're not supposed like he smokes like in and around his house and like all the time. I
I know.
He smokes in front of his parents, and he looks like he's like 13. That's why it's just like really weird. Just like the optics look really strange.
I was doing that at 14. I would like
I mean,
smoke in my window, and then I would like spray stuff, and then my mom was like, smells like cigarettes. Are you smoking?" I'm like, "No."
I burned a hole in my comforter. I think that's how my mom figured it out.
Oh
And also,
no.
word to the wise young folks, even though you're probably not listening, you're probably doing something cool on TikTok. But cigarette smoke is probably the strongest smoke, and you cannot cover it up with air freshener.
No,
It's like
you
the most
can't.
immediate, like that smoke. Like it's even more immediate than weed. It's so strong. Like you're just like this is cigarette smoke. Like there's no way if someone smokes like one puff in your house, you can smell it for a while. Like it's kind of crazy.
I know, but it's so weird to think. I mean, we were just so silly and thought that somehow our parents wouldn't be able to smell it.
I
It's like
know. Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. Of course, they can smell it.
Yeah,
Like
it's like so strong.
I know.
Really funny. So then Zero Cool, when he was a kid, is now Crash Override, which is such a cool name for a band, but also like too cool of a name for a band. I feel like it's a little same with Acid Burn. It's a little too
Mm,
cool.
I don't know. I can see. I mean,
I
I
can
can
see it.
see this. Yeah.
And then I wrote, aha, crash and burn. I like that. When the guy's like, wait, crash override, crash and burn. Oh, no way. So they like find out about each other. And then I wrote, so now they have this contest to like take down the Secret Service agent, and they do all this like crazy shit to that the main guy that's like looking after them, like puts like the personal ad, like puts his number on a personal ad,
Oh yeah,
ring
there's
all
all these
the
crazy things, and then
time. So
he gets calls from like all sorts of people.
oh, he gets arrested because they think he's like another person, like just all this shit to destroy him. And then I wrote, whoa, so the FBI just busts into teenagers' rooms for cyber crimes? Apparently, they're just literally busting down all these doors of all these kids. Like
Yeah.
they've busted down Joey's door. They've busted down what's his name? Freak's door. He gets
Oh
caught.
yeah.
Like all of them. I'm like, wait, so they're just literally busting down. Like the parents don't even know. The parents are like screaming, like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, so which is nuts. I don't know if there are any people out there who work in that capacity, but can they do that if you're a minor? Wouldn't the parents
Probably not. But I mean,
yeah, the
it's a
parents
film, so I guess
totally.
you know.
Yeah. Which I thought was so crazy. And I wrote cyber crimes. The guys are being framed from that weird dude, Plague. And also it's weird that his girlfriend is Lorraine Bracco.
Oh my god,
It's so
so
strange.
funny. Yeah.
With blonde hair. And she was also in Basketball Diaries that year too.
Oh, she was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
95. So I love her voice too. She's got like such a New York accent. It's so great. Like I love it. She always has that accent. It's really funny. And then I said like, so now they're trying to like I guess Plague is like trying to now get Crash or Dade or whatever to like help him out and get this fucking weird virus going so they can get this money scam going on. But then they're like leveraging his mom's freedom, like you have to do this. I
Yeah.
was like, can they? I mean, this is crazy. Like, it's really crazy when you think about the story. I was like,
Oh yeah, because he's a
nuts.
super hacker as well. He can do stuff. Like
Yeah, but like, how would you like actually say like, we'll totally change all the records and like put your mom in jail if you don't do this? Like, I was like, that's so crazy. I mean, granted, yeah, it's a movie, but I was like, whoa, that's pretty intense.
mm,
And then so they're like, all right, we're going to this like, chemical company, whatever. It's weird when they bust into that trash bin that like some stuff is shredded, but some stuff isn't.
oh yeah, I mean that's a bit silly, and also like there's plenty of room, but somehow she's on top of him,
I
and then
know,
like
yeah. It's like a massive, it's
I
like
know.
a massive bin, yeah. Yeah, of course. I wonder, did they met on this film, right? Because they got married the next year.
Yeah, they met in this film.
Okay, so then during like train spotting days, oh, she got Lee Miller looking like sick boy. That's when he looked the best. I wonder if he just dyed his hair again, like because it was already blonde,
That's
and then he just
true.
bleached it even more when he went to do Sick Boy, because that was the next year. Like Trainspotting was right after this, or well, they came out right after this. So that's just
Yeah, like I wonder how he got this role because he was pretty much just working in London.
yeah. I
He
didn't
was
see
like
anything on it.
acting like he's been on so many shows. It's crazy. Like he was in EastEnders when he was like young. Like so I don't know when he actually moved or did he actually moved. I don't think he ever moved to the US. I think he probably just got that job and then was here for that. But
Yeah, and then went back and did
and then he
Trainspotting.
yeah, because I think eventually he moved to the US, but I just think it's interesting that an actor who's just been in the UK working and came an audition for a movie here. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, I guess
I'm looking. He's done so much, and it,
yeah, no, he's done loads. He's done a
yeah,
lot of theater as well.
cool. Did he marry someone famous, or am I thinking of someone else?
Yeah, he married another actress
He did,
actually.
right? Okay, I was gonna say I thought it was. Oh, he's married now. Michelle Hicks. I don't know who that
Yeah,
is.
she's an actress.
Oh, okay. Oh, she's from Jersey. Oh, I know her face, but yeah, I just didn't know her name. Okay, cool. Um, let's see. I was like, I can't believe that they're framed by Lorraine Bracco. They're going to launch this Da Vinci virus. And then I wrote, I love that in all these films in the mid 90s and even like I guess early 2000s too, it's so easy to manipulate like a traffic grid.
Oh
Like they're
yeah,
always changing like lights, like traffic lights. And I was like, I love how this is, and there's like a huge hack sequence where they're like, like there are lots of sequences in this film that are pretty cool where they're like very like early animation.
yeah.
Yeah.
When they're all working together,
Mhm.
like on different, like at home, like hacking and stuff, and then I love it when that's one of my favorite scenes when there's a crash and they're all like rollerblading
Mhm.
to the station.
Yeah, it's super cool.
So cool.
Probably one of like the best ones. And of course, like yeah, we'll get into the music, but like the music is like definitely
Oh
just helps, like
yeah,
part of
yeah.
the film too, which is probably my favorite part of the film is the music.
Same.
It's
It's like music and rollerblading, but
yeah, it's super cool. And then of course, like you get to like probably one of the best scenes in the film is when serial killer like exposes the entire hack and exposes like what's really going on and like what the whole thing is and has this kind of like manifesto moment, like hacking the TV to like get him to like say what's really going on and like these people are like doing all this crazy shit and they're framing us and they're trying to take this money from this like mineral company. So I like how that part ends. You're like, okay, cool, like the story's over, people are gonna get what's handed to them, whatever. And then it just flashes to like they go on like crash and burn, like they go on that date,
on the date,
going.
yeah.
It was like, if I win, then I think she was like, if I win, then you have to wear a dress on the date. And he was like, if I win, you have to wear the dress. So then that's when you get that iconic Angelina Jolie look where she's got that like blue
Oh my god, blue
very,
eyeshadow with
very like
like
Asian inspired. I think
it is
her outfit,
her
right?
dress.
Yeah,
Her dress is so like it's a little weird. It's like a little crazy, but
yeah, it's definitely like more costumey, I would say.
mhm.
Yeah, but she has that really awesome makeup that I feel like you usually see when you see pictures of her. She had another really good makeup look earlier, which I wrote in fashion, where she has like all white outfit, but she has that like pink eyeshadow.
Yeah, yeah, no, she looks really cool. I mean, she just
Cool.
looks amazing.
Um,
She's her lips and her eyes. I mean,
I know to think that it's real because
yeah,
exactly the same.
they are real lips.
Yeah,
Like,
it's so yeah, because even like when you see those photos of her when she's like 12 or like 13, like she still has the same mouth.
I think her brother has them as well.
Oh, does he? The weird,
I'm pretty sure.
the one that she kissed at that thing.
Well, maybe someone else in her family. I can't remember. Or maybe her mom.
I think
I've looked this
mom,
up before.
definitely not John Voight.
No,
It's definitely not John Voight. What does her brother do? Was her brother an actress or actor? Angelina?
I can't remember. I looked
Yeah,
this up like a long time ago.
yeah, I know he was just at the Oscar that time or the Oscars or whatever. Yeah, I love that whole scene where they just go on a date and they're just like, okay, I bet you the director and everyone was like, all right, they're totally banging. So how are we gonna like work this into the story? Because this is gonna be like probably in the news, like, or this we're gonna use to like promote it. So
Mm.
like how do we get this scene in that kind of doesn't need to be here, but like people will thank us for? So essentially, they just like. I love when they show swimming like in pools at night on movies anyway.
Me too.
Reminds me
I
of
love
Candy,
that.
which is definitely Candy's totally one we're gonna have to do
Oh yeah.
like a
Mhm.
2000s. But yeah, I love how you see them like kissing in the pool and then it fades and like pulls out to like the pool on top of the building. And then and I love how the credits like fade in and that reminded me of Candy when like the credits are like they're underwater and stuff.
Yeah, I love that scene when they're at the pool and they're like kissing and stuff. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
And then you see like New York at night
Mhm.
and then you have their names on the buildings. It's just really cool.
That's right. Yeah, Crash and Burn. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
It's like so romantic. It's really cool.
That was really cute. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, so let's get into the music. What are
Yeah.
your favorites?
Okay, this music gives me life. Like that's just the best way I can describe it. Like it's honestly some of my favorite like artists like of that genre really like Prodigy, like Orbital. I love there's a song that is not, I don't think it made it to the official soundtrack, but it's by Massive Attack.
Oh yeah.
I think it's Protection. And like I love that film. And I just love Left Field, honestly. Like it's just that song "Open Up" is so good to dance
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Oh, great, and Carl Cox, obviously. I've seen Carl Cox like loads in the
Oh
UK.
really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool.
He was one of those that play a lot in like festivals, but also play a lot in like late 90s and early 2000s at Fabric.
Oh, cool.
This really amazing club that had, yeah, it's basically like house, trance, like all of that music. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
But yeah, the music is incredible. It's so good. I just wanted to dance as I was watching it.
That's very cool. Have you heard the rumor that or not rumor, but I guess it's floating around Reddit that Banksy is like really in Massive Attack?
Yeah,
Yeah, is that
yeah.
like that's a while that people have been
It's been a thing for a while that it kind of makes sense because they're from Bristol
Mhm.
and obviously Banks is from, well, yeah, all this work that that he's done there. Like apparently the places that a lot of his the, well, they've seen a lot of his artwork in cities where they played like around the same time. So, but who knows? I mean, it's a mystery. But if you think about it, it kind of makes sense that like a musician would be into graffiti art and stuff as
Yeah.
well.
And they say that when Massive Attack like has shows, it's always like near where there's been a new Banksy piece.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
wherever there's been a new Banksy like art like piece, it's where they played. So
That's kind of cool.
it is cool, I guess. I mean, I also do love the fact that it's a mystery that
Yeah, I
no
was
one
gonna say,
really
I hope
knows.
we never find out. I was gonna say, I don't
I think
wanna
it's
know.
amazing. No, I
Yeah,
don't want to know. I don't
yeah.
want anyone to find out.
No,
Yeah.
totally.
What do you think of the
I
music?
said,
What are your favorites?
this is what I listened to in 98 and '01. I will also say that, not to bring up Groove again, but a lot of the songs from this film are in on the Groove soundtrack as well. So, like, Orbital, my notables were Left Field, Orbital, Prodigy, BT, Moby, Underworld. I like that Elastica song, Connection.
Yeah, that one.
Connect
But that it didn't make it to the final
No,
soundtrack. But it's in the
Massive
film.
Attack,
Yeah.
and there's 3 volumes of the soundtrack that they
Yeah.
released, which is kinda crazy.
Yeah. There's also like a David Bowie song in one of them,
Oh, yeah, like, yeah, it's got
like a remix.
uh, that might have also been a big part of the budget to get
The
all
music.
yeah, to get all those rights to make all those albums. I feel like
Mm,
David Bowie might be kinda high. Like, they're like, he was big.
for sure. Yeah.
They might
Yeah.
have spent a lot just trying to get the music license for the film because the music is such a big part, so they had to make sure they could get, like, well-known songs and stuff, which is cool. But yeah, I really like this music a lot. I used to listen to it a lot. I think I've said it before that I, like, used to listen to it. I don't so much anymore, but I've started to slowly now. I've been breaking out my CDs. I have Global Undergrounds that I used
Oh,
to file. I
cool.
have like some Sasha ones, some Digweed, some like Nick Warren.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's the same music that I was into. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's
We were into the same thing.
I know,
I
it's
feel like
really cool.
it's really funny because I feel like obviously I grew up like loving rock. That was like, psychedelic and rock and like grunge and then all of this music. And then after this, it was like I mean, it was this and it was like I guess like British bands only like kind of
Britpop,
well
garage.
yeah, no, that I love that before that too, because that's more like mid 90s as well. But
Mhm.
like all like the verb
A lit
and like yeah, it was just it really shifted to like more like indie,
Mhm. There's a really good
totally.
documentary, I think I have 2 that I think you'll like.
You know who I love? Like it was just like the perfect kind of a bit of both. Muse.
Oh, I liked their
Oh,
first album, I've seen them twice, I was a little disappointed when I saw them live.
oh no, I love Muse, and like those early albums are so fucking amazing.
I liked
Like
Absolution, that was it.
yeah, so good.
Yeah, that album I liked. I didn't like some of the bands that came out of, England in, like, what is it, the early 2000s? Like, I do like the Libertines, I love Pete Doherty, love
I bet you didn't like Travis.
they're okay. They were in, like, this really sappy TV show that I used to watch, they used to use a lot of Travis songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Do you know Start Sailor?
yeah, I know Star Sailor, I like Star
They were
Sailor, but that's
cool.
more yeah, that I did kind of listen to that kind of music when, like, that indie was so heavy, that, like, chill kind of like
Mm,
Belle and Sebastian,
yeah.
who else? Like Beulah, there was a band called Beulah that was kinda big. That I never liked the band Keane.
Yeah, I didn't like Keen
Yeah,
either. No.
Kaiser Chiefs, no.
No, they were too poppy.
Yeah,
They were
'cause there were
too
some other bands that came out there yeah, they were, like, a bit poppy.
but you like the Verve.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have maybe their do they have, like, a greatest hits? I think
I
I
don't
have a
know.
greatest hits album, but it has, like, Lucky Man. I like all of the ones that were, like, the singles. I don't know if I've heard much past the singles, but I like the singles. I mean, yeah, they're good, but I don't
Yeah,
know
Richard
that well.
Ashcroft's cool.
Yeah, Richard Ashcroft, didn't he do solo stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did his own thing.
Oh, okay, cool. He reminds me of Liam Gallagher, but I'm sure he's not as crazy.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
right,
he's
yeah,
nicer, but yeah.
yeah.
I love his look though.
Oh, yeah, he definitely has a very specific look. His outfits are pretty cool, but yeah, he's not my vibe as
And I feel like
looks good.
that album for Bittersweet Symphony is one of my favorites.
Oh,
It's so
yeah.
good.
What
It's
is the name of
amazing.
that album?
I can't remember.
Let's see, when was that, like,
But it's the
97?
first I think it's the second album.
He's only 49? Shit, I thought he
Yeah,
was older
of
than that.
course. He's the same age as Liam and like
Oh,
Alex.
okay. Oh, alright. Oh, that's cool. Is the Verve
Um,
together or no?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay.
No, they broke up a while ago. But I mean, maybe they've reunited, and I just don't know.
Oh, crazy. Alright, fashion.
Yeah, fashion.
Roger
I mean,
Burton is the costume designer.
so cool. What a cool job to
Mhm,
do the costume design for this film because he really had like fun with all the characters because they're all different.
mhm,
Like I love what Kate wears. That all white. I don't think it's a jumpsuit, but I think it's maybe a top and like trousers.
mhm.
It does look like a jumpsuit, white. It's really
The white
cool.
one?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it is a top.
but it just looks like a one piece of thing. I love. She just looks so cool in everything. Honestly, it's just not. But that's probably my favorite look that she wears. But I love what Frick wears.
Yeah,
He has the best outfits because he has like animal print yellow top with animal print pants, but different shade of yellow.
mhm,
And then he has like black and white print like overall. It might be like a shirt and trousers, but they're the same print. And it's all black and white. He wears that briefly, and then he has this amazing, pretty much the same thing that Kenzo did way later. Like
oh, yeah.
he did that collection where he did like animal prints in pink, and he had a blazer that was basically the same as this one.
Oh, cool.
Do you remember that collection?
Vaguely.
Yeah,
I'll have
but
to look it up.
I love that he wears this amazing like animal print and like pink suits, like kind of silky fabrics. Oh, yeah, it's so cool. And obviously Steve, I want to call him Steve, but
Oh,
that's not his
Steve,
name.
serial killer.
Cyril, yeah, wears the black and gold top with Lou Reed's face, which is like a knitwear. It definitely
Yeah,
looks like a knitwear.
it's like a sleeveless, right? It's like a
Yeah,
muscle. Yeah,
sleeveless. Yeah.
it's super
Oh,
cool.
those are my favorite outfits.
I just have a bunch of buzzwords written down. I don't have like people specific outfits. I do have Kate, but I have tech nylon vests,
Yes,
ringer
those ones. Yeah.
tees, combat boots, all white. Oh, and my favorite outfit on Kate is that oversized hockey jersey.
Oh
In class.
yeah,
I fucking love that. One of my friends,
yeah, that is
it's
cool.
really cool. Pagers, blue glitch prints. You know those like
Yeah,
glitchy prints that are really cool.
yeah,
The red tech vest. I love that. Motorcycle jackets, the red and white one that she
yeah. The one that
patch one.
Dade is wearing, this really that the those ones with like really big pad shoulders sort of thing.
Marquez
Like
Almeida did a really cool one. They had the motorcycle pants and the
they did.
it
Yeah,
was
I remember
so
that.
fucking it was very hackers.
It was last year.
Yeah, it was so
Yeah,
cool. If only I could wear those leather pants.
I know.
Probably wear that. That and like the jacket like together. It was really cool. Yeah, that's all I have. I have Kate's makeup, like where she had that red and she was wearing all white, which I thought was really cool. The patchwork, yeah, and I love her patchwork motorcycle jacket, the one that's like red and white and black. I think it's
Yeah, because even like I love that. I mean, I don't like his outfits that much, but they all have their own thing going on. I love that the bad guy. What's his name?
oh plague.
Yeah, he wears like long trenches and like all black and these really cool sunglasses. And even his security guard wears like really cool sunglasses with like a long
Yeah.
earring. And I feel like, yeah, they all have like really cool style and it's a very different, like kind of different versions of what people were wearing around that time,
Yeah,
you know?
totally. And there's tons of like chain wallets, like
Yeah,
chain wallet that attached to your belt that the guys would wear. I used to have one too. And then just a lot of those like even the pants that have the belts like the old like Vivian Westwood punk ones.
yeah,
Like there's just so
yeah.
much cool shit. The shirts are cool. That shirt that Joey has that says the Martians are coming to save the earth. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
really cool. And then I think Nikon, the guy from The Crow, he has like those awesome like he has these like black pants with like belts or like
Yeah.
buckles along the
With
side.
yeah, super cool.
Cool. And I love oh now I'm gonna call him Steve-O. I love serial killers like his glasses, they're like really, really tiny. Those are
Yeah,
cool.
well, a lot of them have them.
Mhm.
You know what's funny is like they're
Hair,
hacking
bring
and
up
they're in.
fucking Bella Hadid and those fucking small
Oh
ass
yeah,
glasses.
no, they're in rooms inside like a house hacking, and they have their sunglasses on.
I
I think
know.
it's funny. It's like, why do you need them? Or they have them on their head, and then they're like, okay, I need to start doing this, and then they put them on and they hack. I'm like, how does this make any sense? Like,
Maybe it helps the screen.
maybe, yeah, maybe
The
that's
screens
true.
back then were like they're really like pixelated.
I
They were
think
like
so.
all lines. Now we don't see them in monitors, but back then like they were such lines, and I think they
Yeah,
actually did irritate your eyes more because they
makes
were like
sense.
so maybe like maybe it helped for some reason. I don't know. I'm sure I maybe got worse eyes by being behind one of the old computer screens for so long.
Yeah, I remember that, getting
Yeah.
headaches and just being like, yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
Totally. Even like watching TV because it's the same screen. It's like, you're like, "Oh, my eyes hurt." But now we don't have that. Probably because the TVs are like however they're done now. They make them so you can stare in front of them all day.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah,
Which
like,
obviously we do.
that's so crazy. Let's see. So we have what are your favorite scenes and lines?
Okay, let's do one and one. Let's do one scene and one line.
Okay. I only have a
Okay,
few.
I have three.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is when Dave tells them that he was zero cool,
Mhm.
and he says like they ask him for help, and he's like, I can't, I have a record. And he's like, I was zero cool. And then the other guy goes, I thought you were black.
Oh, that's right.
I just think it's so funny. He's like, "Oh, cool." I love that whole sequence, like when he tells them, and then they're like, "Oh my god, you were 11 and did all this, whatever." I thought that was really cool. And one of my favorite lines is when Kate says, "Never send a boy to do a woman's job."
No.
I love that.
So true. I feel like she lives her life probably like that now.
Totally. You?
Let's see. Joey at the NA meeting, drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes. That was my favorite. And then my other line, one of my lines is the mess with the best, die like the rest.
Yeah, that's cool.
I might name it that. The episode.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I really like. I mean, these are more sequences, but I just really love when they're at the club, and it's just really cool. Like, I just love
Oh, when the
seeing.
band's playing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love seeing a club
good
scene,
stuff,
and then he
man.
tries to get to the stage, and then they throw him, and he's just like all these people are carrying him, and then Kate is like, "Where were you? I was looking for you," and he was like, and then they get to speak to the other two guys, the other hackers and
Yeah.
stuff, and then they're like, they see this like camera outside, and they're trying to explain, and they're like, "Ditch the boy, keep the girl."
Oh
I
yeah.
just love all of that, everything just from the
So
club scene.
so cool.
Um, and I really like that line when Dave says like, "What is it with this guy?" And the other guy says, "His parents miss Woodstock, and he's been making up for that
Oh yeah.
since." I just think it's so funny because he does look like he's just like a lost Woodstock child sort of thing.
Yeah, he totally does. He totally has that vibe. It's so weird.
I love that.
Let's see. One of my other favorite scenes is when Dade beats Kate's score in that
Oh yeah,
game. I love video games too. I'm also crazy competitive when it comes to video games. I haven't played them any in a long time, but yeah, I just it's so cool. I love Angelina, but it sucks that he beat her score. So I hate when people do that. Like when they're like,
yeah,
"I'm better than you." You're like, "Oh,
yeah. But I kind of like that. I like that he was better than her because she's like, they don't know how cool he is.
yeah, that's
You know,
true."
he's
Yeah, it was
like,
like a mystery at that point.
yeah,
Hack the Planet was my
so
other
cool.
one. That was also
Oh, maybe you should call
yeah, I
that.
was gonna say maybe that will be it. It's either between maybe Hack the Planet's the best. That probably is short and sweet.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Okay, my last line is by Serial Killer when he says, "We have just gotten a wake up call from the Nintendo generation."
Ah, that's true.
It's so it's so true,
So
you know.
true.
Nintendo generation.
Oh, Nintendo. I
Ah,
had a Wii. It was cool.
me too.
You did? You had a Wii?
Yeah,
Oh, no
I.
way.
It's weird because I did like, I played Nintendo a lot, and but then but not really. I never got that obsessed with, I never really got that into it. Like, I don't care about video games.
I
Like,
don't care now, but if I'm playing them, I care.
I think I played until the age of 13, maybe, or 12, but then after that, I just didn't play at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no. It was just like, I just wanted to be outside. I was outside all the time, just like roller skating and like just hanging out, just like going on, like, yeah, hanging out, getting up to no good, basically.
Yeah.
Smoking
Oh
at the back of the school, going to someone's house to drink.
gosh.
Yeah, so bad.
It's so crazy how things have changed. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. My last scene is just serial killers, like whole mantra at the end.
yeah, that was very cool.
Alright, that's super cool. Yeah, so let's close it out with 90s moments. What do you got? I mean, it's the whole movie, but what
It's so much.
actually?
I don't know. It's a
I have
lot.
just lists. I just have like a general like kind of list.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have the same ones, I guess. But yeah, like rollerblade,
Yeah.
video cassettes, discs.
Yeah, the floppies.
Yeah, those floppy disks. Um, video games. Ugh, I don't know. It's just like everything. I mean, I know that warehouses, like warehouse parties, were like having a thing, but I really do think that it started more in the 90s because there was all these abandoned warehouses in New
Yeah,
York and like
true.
London, that these spaces that would be taken for raves and like,
And also there's way
used for
less
raves.
it's way easier to like not get caught. Like you didn't have to worry about anyone posting anything. And,
That's
like,
true. Well, no one took photos either,
no,
back
not
then.
really. If they did,
Everyone
it
just
was
like
on film,
dancing.
so you'd
Yeah,
see 'em, like, way later, which is
trance. I have to say trance because that literally was a thing of the 90s. I started in the 90s.
is it not
And
a thing now? Is trance technically not a genre? Is it, like,
well, it is, but not. It's not
not the
really.
same?
It's not the same. It's not big at all. I don't think. I mean, it's not. It died out a bit
Yeah.
and so on. But it was massive in the 90s.
Yeah, totally.
What about you? What about yours? What are your
I
90s
have,
movies?
aside from yours, I have indoor obstacle courses, that's pretty nice.
Oh yeah,
Smoking
that's
indoors. Uh,
yeah.
those weird holographic projector computers where, like, it looks like you're typing on on a flat surface, but it's like a projector. But I'm like, this isn't even possible because they barely have that now. Like, it'd have to be a touch screen surface, but they always have those in like techie movies. And then I have just popping in instead of calling.
Oh yeah, people used to go
Pop
to
in.
people's houses.
Yeah,
It's
like,
like
just, like, randomly or, like, obviously, like, voicemails and shit, but yeah, just popping in general, just the concept of popping in is, like, super 90s because you just never know where people are, which probably helps
yeah,
hack, but yeah. Yeah. That's
yeah.
all I have for hackers. I'm excited because 'cause I'm actually not as familiar with this, so I'm gonna watch it again. Like, now not,
Hmm.
like, right now, but I mean, I'm gonna, like, watch it again, like, more because, yeah, it's just a super cool movie.
It's a super cool movie.
And it's very
Yeah,
ahead of its time, like,
totally.
totally living in that era now, so it's kinda crazy. It's, like,
Yeah.
so crazy. But, yeah, this was so fun. I'm
I
excited. I
know.
hope
I'm so
people like
glad we
it.
did it.
Yeah, we're gonna do, some special scary, spooky movies coming up. We are actually gonna do, we'll tell you, we're gonna do Edward Scissorhands. We're gonna review that,
Oh yeah.
coming up soon. So I think the last week of October, I'll release 3 episodes. So, yeah, look out for that. I'll post about it on Instagram and wherever, Facebook, who knows. So yeah, look out
Cool.
for that, like and subscribe. And yeah, the DMs are always open. Oh, there's a new Instagram. It's at Fashion Grunge Pod. I'm gonna be posting more movie stuff. I'm gonna give Jai the login so you can post some shit.
Yay.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
we can just post all the time. It's gonna be kind of like a fun Instagram. Like we can just post shit all the time. I don't, whatever. So leave DMs there or at Fashion Grunge and let us know what you want to hear us review. And yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, it has. I'm
And
so glad. I hope people like
yeah,
it.
I hope you guys like it and enjoy. It's on HBO Max right now. If you have HBO Max, that's where Hackers is. So check it out. I'm sure you've probably already seen it if you're listening to this, but yeah, it's great. Very time capsule. Very cool.
Yeah,
So
totally.
yeah, we will see you on the next one.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.